Hello there and a very warm welcome to another edition of Channels Beam. I am Victor Matthias. Now, Nigeria has recorded some level of success in the tech ecosystem with tech hubs situated in different parts of the country. However, the Yaba area of Lagos, now termed Yabacon Valley, remains the prominent of them all. This edition of Channels Beam will be focusing on other hubs in the country, their successes, challenges, and how government can come in to support technology hubs in other parts of the country to catch up, if not with their peers globally, with their peers here in Nigeria. But as always, we will first bring you the social media trends in the past week and then focus on two hubs from the Northeast and Northwest before we begin the conversation.
The U.S. mission in Nigeria announced a reciprocity
Here in Nigeria. But as always, we will first bring you the social media trends in the past week and then focus on two hubs from the Northeast and Northwest before we begin the conversation.
The U.S. mission in Nigeria announced a reciprocity fee of $110 effective worldwide on 29 August for Nigerian citizens whose non-immigrant visa applications for B, F, H-1B, I, L, and R visa classifications are approved. The Nigerian government has since revised what American citizens pay to obtain visas. Football lovers the world over watched as their teams were grouped ahead of the 2019-2020 UEFA Champions League.
Nigeria has recorded some level of success in the tech ecosystem, with tech hubs situated in different parts of the country where solutions have been proffered to a myriad of challenges. However, the Yaba area of Lagos, now termed Yabacon Valley, remains the prominent of them all. Yola, the Adamawa state capital, also plays host to one of such hubs, named the Northeast Humanitarian and Innovation Hub. It was established to bring young people in the Northeast together in order to create solutions to address the challenges in the region using technology.
One of our plans going forward, and we're meeting with schools around, is to train some of their teachers in computer knowledge, basic computer knowledge. We found that there is a gap in SS3 students taking JAM, not because they don't understand these questions or know the answers they are supposed to give. But JAM now being CBT, there is that gap of computer appreciation which they know not of. And so we're looking to, in the following year, begin to train the first set of students for that and then look at the improvement.
The brainchild of the VP's Office on Social Investment, headed by Muhammad Brimah and launched by Vice President Yemi Oshibajo in 2018. What innovative idea has the hub incubated since inception?
What we've been doing with innovators is addressing these challenges and identifying those that are feasible to be implemented in the Northeast. So we've worked with a couple of them. We had Zidal Dignity Kit, Zainab Lawanda, is based in Maiduguri. What she does is provide dignity kits for women during their menstrual cycle. So VR360 did a documentary when we had our launch in Bakassi. And following that, we had the Daughters of Chibok documentary that has been toured. We have been on a country tour since this year, and that was showcased to mark 5 years since the abduction of the Chibok girls. And what the purpose of doing that documentary, of taking people to Chibok, is like, for a lot of people, they don't know what's happening in the Northeast. You only hear about it in the news, you see it on the TV, and then you see numbers every day, and then you get desensitized, and you feel like it's far away from me. But with virtual reality, we take you there in a fully 360 immersive experience using technology.
Also, interns at the hub have scanned, modeled, printed, assembled and fitted their first unaided 3D printed prosthetic limb for an ex-policeman among others who lost their limbs during the Boko Haram insurgency.
Quite a bit. We've had 5 fittings since the inception of the program. There was one at the launch of the program. That was when the VP came in. That was even before the internship started. So after that point, they decided it was good to bring in indigenous persons, people from within, to actually man this lab. And then we were brought in. We started off, we had another fitting. That was a girl, came in from Kanu. After that, we've had 3 other fittings for different persons from within Adamawa.
With women and children suffering more from the effects of the insurgency, what plan does the hub have to cater for their needs?
The Women's Codepreneur Program is a program where we train women in coding. We teach them coding skills based on Cisco and Google. We also have an added part to that this year where we teach them entrepreneurship skills. So the skills that they learn from the coding classes can be put to real life practice. Some of them are business women, so they will learn how to inject IT skills, IT knowledge into their businesses. For example, how to use social media to market their goods.
I've get to teach them how to work remotely from home so that they can commit. And at the end of the program, they are expected to be techpreneurs, know how to code and the entrepreneurship as well. We are trying to make them tech-oriented. And for general class, they are learning Java. We are using Java to develop Android apps. We have come up with the software now so far is working. We have created a login screen, registration screen, and everything. By next week, we can be able to start introducing them to Firebase, the database part of development, and a lot of other things.
Some of the women and children narrate their experience.
Before, I didn't know how to program basic things. I didn't know the concept of programming, but then when I started attending the classes, I know how to do some basic programming, like finding simple interest in maths and also finding for Pythagorean theorem and other basic math stuff, and also writing letters.
We're here just to develop ourselves, making apps to better the community. For now, we're working on an app called Gona to sell farm produce to people around.
Meanwhile, in Kaduna State, northwest Nigeria, CoLab is also taking in both the young and the old who are technologically savvy and have solutions to some of the problems Nigeria currently faces.
Since we've been open about 2 years and some change now, we've had 2 startups that have done really well. We have one called Payant, a payment processing company that's processed over 30 billion in 2 years. We have Schoolmo, an edtech company, which manages records for over 80,000 paying customers. And then we have trained a lot of people who have ended up in Andela, ended up at Goldman Sachs in the UK, and across. We're probably the leading creator of tech jobs in Kaduna right now, and also the leading incubator for tech talent.
3D printing may have taken off in other hubs. Here, young developers are being taught the same. And in addition, 3D animation and other coding and developer models.
They learn how to use blocks to build games and little animations that they can show to their friends and parents. And after now, we still have a section for 3D printing and 3D animation for them, using platforms they can understand. They were able to learn about how to build websites using HTML5 and CSS3. So almost everyone here has a project to show on that. So they've actually covered that skill.
The young developers who have realized the importance of technology in this era further explain why and what they are embracing it for.
The world now is technologically based. So everything we do now is mostly with technology. So I want to learn more so that I can improve Nigeria.
I came to learn about programming, how to give instructions to the computer using programming blocks, and I've already built a website using HTML and CSS, and it's very fun.
The hub's CEO says the plan is to expand into tertiary institutions and help more tech-driven ideas to scale.
We have a student community now in ABU. We're setting up one at Kaduna State University. We're making inroads with Kaduna Polytechnic as well. The idea being that we want them to recreate communities, because we feel like where the value is really isn't, becoming another school, but it's becoming a platform where a community can build and aggregate their talent to build stuff.
As the world gradually takes steps towards the fourth industrial revolution, hubs like this are pivotal in ensuring that young and old Nigerians are equipped with the required skill to help Nigeria take its place in the committee of tech-driven nations.
Well, there you go. Those were the trends in the past week, as well as a focus on two hubs from Nigeria's northwest region, that's Kaduna, as well as Nigeria's northeast region, that's Yola. But joining us at this moment to look at this topic, we have the Special Advisor to the President on Job Creation, Mohammed Brimah, joining us from our Abuja studio. It's a pleasure to have you on the program, sir.
Thank you very much.
Of course. So let's begin with the Northeast Humanitarian Innovation Hub. I mean, there's been a lot of stuff going on there, but you actually supervised the some of the programs there. What was the aim behind that?
Yes, so a bit of genesis to the beginning of the hub's project in Nigeria. We had like a survey, innovation mapping across the country, which sort of just put in light what the hubs across each region should focus on. And of course, it was only natural that the Northeast Hub should focus on innovation around solving problems, humanitarian challenges faced by those in the region. So one of the first things we did before we started up the hub was to get around all the stakeholders on a table, including professors, academia, people from the academia in the Northeast, the partners, the donor partners, NGOs, as at the time, the Presidential Committee for Northeast Initiatives, PCNI, American University of Nigeria, just a couple of stakeholders in the Northeast to sort of say, okay, what are the challenges innovation could address in this region? And of course, we had even IDPs represented at that stakeholders conference. So we got out a list of challenges, and then we now started a hackathon, like a hackathon, which just basically was a call for application for people all across the country who had ideas that could solve the challenges that were raised. Some of
the applications were not just from the Northeast, if I get you correctly.
Yes, exactly. The applications were all across Nigeria, and that's one thing again that I think should be sort of buttressed about the hub. This showed that everybody stood up to the occasion. Everybody rose up to the occasion, and I mean, it's your brother's problem, but it's your problem as well, and it's one Nigeria at the end of the day. So we had, in fact, a higher number of the applications came from the southern parts of the country to solve these problems faced by our brothers and sisters in the Northeast. These challenges were now reviewed by a panel of experts cutting across all the various sectors as well, including people from NEMA, the National Emergency Management Agency, PCNI, academia, and the ICRC also was a strong partner to this hub. We started off. We trimmed the applications down to about the top 25, and these 25 were now taken to Yola, where they had a boot camp, and then the Vice President, His Excellency Vice President, Professor Yemi Osibajo, was on ground in June 2018 to sort of launch the hub properly with these 25 top ideas serving as the first startups that we started with the hub.
The best of luck with the guys at the hub. Hopefully the world will celebrate them for the wonders that they're doing and for the wonders that they are. But I have to say thank you for joining us on the program today. Mohammed Brimah, Special Advisor to the President on Job Creation, joining us from our Abuja studio.